bit of housekeeping. Uh, we do have another crush group starting pretty soon, the next couple weeks. If you're interested, I think there's about 2 seats for that. That is, you can find all that stuff on the website at bigJOEL.com. If you're interested, there's some reviews there. If you want to ask someone else about it, just let us know. We can put you in touch with somebody. If you're new to this group or this call and you're on this Zoom, we do use the chat. Sean Gaudreau is the chat king. Nobody chats at a higher level than him, but you can totally put something in there. I may just not read it right away if I'm talking. If you have a question, again, if your camera is on, that's even better if you want to talk so I can see you. This is also being live streamed on YouTube, on LinkedIn, on Facebook. We know a lot of people are consuming it that way as well. And again, another thank you to Kevin Luchko for the idea to convert all of these to audio podcasts so you could actually listen to them while you're working out and you don't have to watch them. So that is being done aggressively. We're working our way back through all of them. It seems like we might be a third of the way back through right now. So you'll see them popping up if you subscribed. Obviously, if you're a podcast consumer and you subscribe to the Big Joel Show, wherever, on Apple or Spotify or YouTube or wherever, you'll get alerted as they pop up. I think that's it for housekeeping right now. Today's August 8th. We're right in the middle of the dog days of summer. I can't believe it's August already. It's amazing how fast the year is going. I think we're continuing to see the market become more and more interesting. I think in a lot of markets, we're seeing certain houses sit at specific price points and then begin to drop before they sell. I think it's very interesting. The buyers obviously are dismayed by what they're calling high interest rates, which we all know really aren't that high. And the fact, the hope, the prayer that, if that house dropped 1%, maybe it'll drop 5% or 10%. The question is, where's the bottom? Again, I'm seeing across the country, I talk to agents all the time. The best agents in the country are getting their clients to their lender partner at 100 miles an hour. So the lender can do the heavy lifting regarding discussing interest rates and things like that. The normal, what I'll call agent spiel, I know we have agents on here right now. I'm telling all of them, keep that to 2 to 3 minute minimum. Introduce your lender partner and get them off the phone with you and on the phone with your lender so your lender can explain to them why it is still a truly incredible time to buy a house. Most loan officers think and feel, and the market and agents feel that, yes, some of these houses may come down a tiny bit, but the bus really has left the station. And as soon as people start more aggressively writing contracts, obviously things will at least stay the same or pop back up a little bit. And I think some of these houses that are mildly dropping in price were so grossly overpriced when the agent put them on. I don't even know if it's truly a drop. I think the agent put it on as a prayer, and it was they never really even had a shot at that price point. The other thing that I am seeing aggressively everywhere now, and I know I've been talking about this for 6 weeks, and James Allen talked about this 2 weeks ago. And if you did not see that podcast, you should at least listen to it for the last 3 or 4 minutes because he talked about some technical things. But regarding the subject of sellers paying discount points written in the contract to then buy the rate down. I'm not talking about a 2-1 buy down right now. We could be talking about a 2-1 buy down, which are obviously very prevalent in the market right now. All the big players are rolling them out. But I'm simply talking about a contract written where it says, seller agrees, hey, Teresa, where seller agrees to pay, 2 discount points toward buyers, whatever, closing costs. And then obviously we're then telling the buyer, what that will do for them. And it's amazing how just that little bump down is getting the buyers extremely excited. The agents are happy about it. The sale price remains the same. They're not really taking a bunch off the top because there's a concession. And I would say across the board, every place I go, every place I am, I'm seeing loan officers using that, and it's pretty awesome. It also allows you to connect at a higher level with listing agents and selling agents. As most loan officers, I consider anyone on this call right now to be ahead of the game because you're devoting a little bit of your time to either learning or education or just getting pumped up. You're a small sliver of the loan officers left out there that are trying to basically make a living or busy complaining about interest rates, whatever they're complaining about. You all are at least getting at bats, and these are just techniques to give you more at bats and to provide a higher level of value to your agent partners. Again, I've been talking about this for 6 to 8 weeks. I've been in rooms of agents. Raise your hand if you've ever seen the rates go up, more than 0.5%. No hands go up, or there's one hand that goes up. The agents are working harder. They worked very hard through the multiple offer market, but now it's a different kind of hard. Now it's more technical. This is a normalized market. This is a market, actually, how it was when I first got into business and I started. Those people that really know what they're doing cleaned up in markets like this. So you got to really know your craft in a market like this, and you have to. Your agent partners have to be very comfortable referring their clients to you, because if you screw it up, they're not going to get any more referrals. So again, this is a market where I'm starting to very slowly see certain loan officers begin to actually take market share. They're not just taking a loan from some loan officer that gave up, that was closing 8 loans a month, and 7 of them are refis, and now they can't even close the last purchase deal. These are loan officers taking loans from loan officers that think they know what they're doing. There are a lot of very, 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 very good loan officers. A bunch of them are on this call right now, where if you screw up a deal and they take it over and close it, you can expect that loan officer will be in front of your partner very quickly, and that's going to be that. Okay, agents want to partner with loan officers that they like and that they trust and that they really know what they're doing. It's no longer oh, well, the loan will close no matter what. Everything's 30-year fixed 3%. Now everyone knows how real this market is. So I'm still seeing that going on. So as far as the economy goes, interesting. I mean, there's all kinds of different things going on. Recession this, recession that, no recession, big recession. Who knows? Bottom line is, the one thing most people are keyed in on and watching, besides the big political agenda issues, or gas prices, which have come down a little bit, which have put a little bit of wind in sails of the buyers. I am a firm believer that if you are ready, you're going to be able to take advantage in the fall market as the buyers come back from what I call their COVID vacations. That's the vacation they were going to take in 2020, and really start coming back into the market big time again. I was on the phone with a loan officer this morning. I don't know if he's on here right now. Guaranteed rate loan officer in Los Angeles, a very big producer. And he said, Joel, I've managed to hold on to a lot of jumbo loans, because he's a correspondent lender. I managed to hold on to a lot of jumbo loans because I BIC'd the files. Those of you that have been through a crush group know that means they're a button car, and I'm able to do 14-day closings on these jumbos. So I'm able to grab these loans from these big banks that cannot close that fast. And again, we've talked about working the PPBIC system. Those of you that have not been through a crush group or don't know me that well don't know what that is, but that's simply having loans completely docked and ready to go. So all you need is a contract and an appraisal, title work, and you basically close. Okay, so I wanted to bring that up because that's not the first loan officer that I've heard from. Again, most of you all should have plenty of time to make sure your virtual file cabinets are filled with fully documented loans. You should not have any expired docs in there. If you do, you should have already handled that. So with that said, what a great time as we get close to the fall, as we get close to, I know some kids are going back to school right now, and in Tennessee and in Florida, I know kids are already going back to school. Where I am, kids go back to school much closer to Labor Day, so a lot of the people are still on vacation. But I'm sure, as you've seen, if you're in an area where kids have gone back to school, I'm sure you've seen your agent partners pop their heads up from vacation, and you're hearing more from them because they are back at it. As we all know, professional agents don't take time off just to take time off. They work all the way through. They don't really stop. Okay. We talked 2 weeks ago about about grinding, which is what everyone on this call should be doing right now. You should be pedal to the metal, not on vacation or buying another car. You should literally be working as hard as you can. Now, with that said, this week, I'd love if everyone could just look back over the past 90 days and see where your business came from. Where did it come from? Who referred it to you? How did you get it? And take a look at that really hard and say to yourself, what have I done today to deepen an existing relationship or develop a new one? Literally, what have you done? And if you haven't done anything, then you failed for the day. Okay? Because this is a relationship business. Your job is to originate relationships, not loans. Originating loans is the easy part. Originating relationships is the hard part. Your job is to provide such a high level of value for your agent partners that you are a consistent referral source for them, not because you're so good and you close every loan or you have great rates, because you make your agent partners look great. Really good. You create a scenario where your agent partners are literally getting more referrals because they referred their clients to you. That's what the best agents in the country want, and that's what they're looking for. With that said, on top of it, you heard me talk about this earlier. You've got to be a student of your craft right now. You have to be a student of programs. You have to be a student of putting loans together. You have to understand the difference between an 80 LTV with no MI and an 81 LTV with lender paid MI. You have to know all of these things to succeed right now. If not, you are going to get a beat down from a very experienced loan officer, and I'm seeing it all over the place. Every loan is very, very important right now. Every transaction is extremely important right now. You can't afford anything to go south. Okay. Everyone has plenty of time to get all this done right now. There's only a couple of loan officers that I know, they're just so busy. They're still hiring staff. And by the way, there are loan officers that I deal with one-on-one that are hiring people right now because they're so busy. And it shows me when we look and see the referral partners, what is going on. And what a lot of those referral partners have done is they have traded in their mediocre loan officer that was fine during 20 and 21 that is no longer fine because they really don't know what they're doing. And they need to work with a lender partner that really, really, really knows what they're doing. Okay. So I know it's August and half of you all are either on vacation or have been on vacation or thinking about vacation. But I can tell you, I wouldn't be thinking about anything right now until December 24th. The only thing I'd be thinking about is mowing down the competition. Okay. How much business can I get? How many relationships can I start? How deep can I go with my current relationships? Just talking about discount points, 2-1 buy downs, things like that with listing agents and your agent partners differentiates you from all of the other lenders out there. I know you're thinking, oh, Joel, everyone's doing that. No, they're not. By the way, agents are getting anywhere between 20, 30, some of them are getting 35 phone calls a day with the same dumb scripts that some loan officers bought trying to get an agent to go to coffee. Literally that many calls. So if your plan is to sit in your office and make calls, that is a bad, bad plan. That plan is not going to work. Okay. If you stand up right now and you turn around and you look at your chair and it looks like an imprint of your ass, you got a problem. Okay. Because you shouldn't be sitting in your chair. You should be out of your chair, actually out meeting people, seeing people, doing social activities with agent partners or potential agent partners. Okay. I am telling you right now, if you are sitting in your office making 100 calls, hoping to get someone on the phone, if you work at a company where they've given you some kind of idea where they got some business development person that's calling agents for you, let me know how that's working. You can send me a separate email. I've never heard anyone having a lot of success with that in this market unless it's a loan officer already doing a ton of business that everyone knows. Okay. You have to do that work yourself. There's no shortcuts in a relationship. You can't have a third-party relationship with an agent. The relationship has to be yours. Okay. So if you've not looked at your platoon in a while, those of you that know what this is, you have not looked at your platoon in a while, you need to look at it. Platoon, company, division. Have you looked at it? Where is your business originating from? Where's it coming from? Who's referring it to you? How many referrals have you gotten? How many of them have you closed? How many of them have you lost? If you're not sitting and looking at that and then basing relationship activities on where your business is coming from, that is a very bad idea. Because I can tell you your competition, the ones that I work closely with, they are doing that every day, all day, and they are going to kick your butt with that. And I'm sure you don't want that to happen. Okay. Again, a lot of people are predicting doom and gloom for the fall. I don't agree. I am bullish on the market. I do not think the rates are going to go through the roof anytime soon. I don't think any of you do either. I think we've settled out a little bit here. I think we know where we are. You should have already figured out how to talk to people about this, how to run your numbers, how to pencil sell. Okay, if you have not, again, you've heard me talking about this for weeks. Find a very experienced loan officer in your branch, in your company, and get them to explain to you how to pencil sell. If you cannot pre-qualify someone using a calculator, a pen, and a napkin, you've got a problem if you're going head-to-head against some of these very experienced loan officers. By the way, I'm not anti-technology. Everyone's using technology, but if you don't know how to do it on the fly like that, you're going to get waxed by someone that does. If you don't understand how to properly structure files, you're going to have a potential borrower talk to you, a potential borrower talk to me. My rate can be a quarter higher. You're going to lose. Okay. Because I'm going to structure their loan in a different way or in a better way that benefits the consumer or the borrower. Okay. You all can all be doing the same thing. If you don't know how to do that, you need to find a very experienced loan officer in your world to learn that from them. Okay. I mean, if you literally can't do it with a calculator and a pen, you need to learn how to do it so you really understand what's going on when you're structuring loans. Okay. You don't really need your laptop to get started, to really get someone completely involved with you to the point where they don't want to shop till they drop. Okay. I understand this environment is extremely competitive. This is the kind of place where if you're doing certain kind of production, you know, the sort of the big banks rule. Okay. And I'm sure there's a bunch of you all that are having pity parties for yourself because you've lost deals to a big bank with a portfolio product or someone that's 0.5% lower in rate. I'll tell you right now, service, knowing how to talk to people, okay, and being a quarter in rate closer will get you the loan. Those of you that don't think I know what I'm talking about, I'll tell you to just take a breath and go with me on this one. I do know what I'm talking about on this. You can overcome that. It's being overcome every day with service and speed. I don't know if Sean's on here right now, but when Sean in the fall, not in the fall, in the spring, I forget the last time he was on here, he was talking about we're all about contract to close, contract to close, contract to close, contract to close. And he was talking about that speed in the middle of the crazy market. Maybe it was a year ago now. I don't know. You know, it's now too. It doesn't matter if the market's crazy or not. It's still contract to close, because if you want to take down a big bank, okay, and you can close in 14 days and they have to take 45 days, well, that's a good way to take them down. Okay. But you can't close in 14 days unless you're ready to close in 14 days. And that means if you took a half-assed loan app and you got half the docs and you're waiting for a contract to dock it, you're never going to be able to do it. Okay. So you actually have to do your job up front to be able to do that. Okay. So everyone's head should be up right now. If you're on this call, your head should be up, held high. The other thing I want to mention before I sign off for the day is, man, these posts you guys are making, I don't mean you guys, but any of you guys are making on social media about, this woe is me crap, or, ooh, the rates are high, or all these graphs and whatever about whatever. Y'all need to stop doing that crap. Your job is not to stress anybody out. Okay. Your job is to be a beacon in the middle of this, a very bright light. Your job is to keep your agent partners happy, keep your borrowers happy. You should not be doom and gloom about interest rates. Okay. When I'm talking about that as well, I'm going to put it out there. Those of you that like to prognosticate on the market, I tell you in any market to never do that. In this market, I would never, ever, ever be prognosticating about what the rates are going to do. If you knew what the rates were going to do, hopefully you'd be a bond trader and you'd be on a Greek island right now partying on your 300-foot yacht. You certainly would not be doing loans. You'd be buying and selling bonds if you knew what the rates were going to do, which none of us do. Okay, so be careful with that, especially in the political climate we're in right now. Be very careful prognosticating. The bottom line is it's still an awesome time to buy a home. Oh, and by the way, there's still 5 million. I think the last one was 5.2 million. There's still over 5 million people that want to buy a house right now. 5 million people in the United States that want to buy a house right now. 5 million people. Let's take off 20% for cash. 4 million mortgages right now. Okay. Yes, I know there's inventory issues or whatever, but inventory is coming on the market. The buyers are out there. You need to be the one getting the loans. A couple of you have asked questions about some different techniques for agents and things to do with agents. I will tell you that those of you on the call that have been through crush groups know I'm not a technique guy. Okay, because a lot of the techniques don't work. I would probably encourage you to look into a crush group. I'm not selling you any coaching right now. I'm just saying crush groups explain all of that, and I could never answer that question in 2 minutes. The only thing I will tell you is that your job is to find people who know people who need mortgage loans and become best friends with them, so they refer the people that need loans to you. Your job is to create a set of new best friends that can refer you people that need loans. The biggest group of them would be real estate agents, builder reps, ancillary partners, CPAs, divorce attorneys, stuff like that. Okay. Now, if you think about, well, how do I do that? Well, how did you make friends with anyone you're friends with is what I would say to you. And it certainly wouldn't be jamming a folder down their throat with a name tag on at an 8-minute coffee. Pretty sure you didn't do that when you met your best friends. So unfortunately, a lot of the techniques that are taught over the years by others, not by me, don't work and don't even understand the psychology of your potential partners at all. So you're really doing not just the wrong thing. A lot of times you're doing the opposite thing. So I apologize for not answering those couple of questions because there's just no way I could do it that fast. It's like a 10-hour answer, maybe at the shortest. And those of you that know me well know how long that answer is. So everybody, head down. I applaud everyone for being on this call today and investing some of your time with me. And I'll tell you, it's a great time to be a loan officer. It's a great time to be a real estate agent. You should not be bitching, complaining. There should be no ambulances called to your place of work or your house because you're upset about this or that. Put your head down. This is still the greatest job there is, and take market share now. All right, everybody. See you in 2 weeks.